6 games because he lost the plot. I understand you have to make an example. You know where I'm going, don't you?
I believe a Frenchman.
We have a guy who almost snapped a player's leg in 2 and he got 1 game. Where is the consistency in Spain with these punishments? That's the only issue I've got. In football terms, it's going to be a huge miss. The other disappointment is David Alaba. He just seems to be...
He didn't look right, though, dude, when he came back.
But he just seems to be injured. He just seems to be so unreliable now. He's had so many different injuries. And so this is all pointing towards possibly Celta Vigo pitching up at the Bernabeu and giving them another headache, because we know they're a side that likes to attack these days. Ever since they got rid of Rafa Benitez, they've become an attacking side.
You always bring that up, Rafa Benitez.
Well, I watched Celta Vigo under Rafa Benitez, and it was Rafa Benitez's Celta Vigo, sitting in 3rd or 4th bottom of the league, parking the bus, boring to watch. They changed coaches, haven't spent a bunch of money, and they're a very good footballing side to watch. And I think that's the point is that with good coaching, with progressive coaching, you can get this. And we saw that, and we've seen it many times, but we saw it in the game at the Montjuic, albeit some of the defending was questionable at best. But the mindset they're in at the moment, the form that they're in at the moment, the injuries that they have, it's going to be a tall order, depending on what Barca do on Saturday. It's going to be a tall order for them, even to get the 3 points before the Clásico a week later.
Yeah.
Look, Real Madrid are hanging on like the knees of Antonio Rudiger were hanging on in the game on Copa del Rey. All taped up, all bandaged up, and that's how Real Madrid are right now. We say there's a title race because I suppose in numbers that's the case, but when it comes to performances, I mean, I'm telling you, they're barely hanging on. It's like a death grip, and just like, I won't let go. It just feels like all it's going to take is a combination of results where it doesn't go their way against Celta Vigo, Barcelona beat Real Valladolid, and now we're having a different conversation. Nobody would be surprised if Celta de Vigo actually go into Santiago Bernabeu and get a result, because that's how inconsistent Real Madrid have been. The surprising thing this weekend would be if Real Madrid show up and actually are thorough, dominant, convincing.
Second half Real Madrid.
Yes.
The Copa del Rey.
Right. And so
Dortmund.
Yes, there you go.
Second half.
But that's it.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it. The fact that we can point at specific moments in time this season to say, if that team shows up, then they'll have a chance. That tells us everything that we need to know about what Real Madrid have been this season.
This club have to somehow finish this season showing they have a bit of class.
Oh,
that's going to be hard.
Both on the field and off the field. They've been a disgrace. And what we saw at the weekend was a culmination of almost a lawlessness, with the complaints about basically talking about conspiracies. From boardroom level, questioning the referees, questioning everything, poor performances. This club, like most elite level big clubs, should be above all this nonsense, should be bigger than that, because I go back to all it does is facilitate the moronic element in fan bases, which is already a problem. And Real Madrid, whether they win, lose, or whatever happens to them between now and the end of the season, at least have to try and finish this season with a bit of class, because thus far this season, there hasn't been much of that at all.
Robbo?
I'll go back to something Craig said, I think 3 weeks ago. He called Real Madrid egotistical bigheads. And that's exactly right. Over the course of the last few games, the way they've behaved on and off the field has been a disgrace. And if you have that sort of attitude, you're going to be inconsistent when you play. And you're going to rely on individuals to perform quite well on certain occasions. And that's why you don't know what's going to turn up against Celta Vigo. At the moment, Real Madrid are a really ill-disciplined and disorganised club, and something's got to be done fairly soon about them. And
it's weird because they have one of the classiest managers out there, who seems now to have no ability to control what's coming from above. Not that he probably ever did, but he certainly had control of what was on the field for the most part. And at the moment,
I don't think he'll be mind going to Brazil, will he?
No, I think he's ready. I think he'd go now. I think he's ready for it. But even Carlo Ancelotti, with this great man management skill set, has lost the ability to control a lot of the things that are happening, particularly on the pitch.
I think he's risen above it, to be honest with you. He's just kind of
Had
going,
enough.
yeah, you know what? I'm not going to go argue with Vinny Jr. I'm not going to try to argue with Endrick. Why is he not playing? Why is he playing? This guy is throwing a bottle 40 yards into the middle of the field. What am I going to do with that? Nah. You know what? Lucas Vazquez is running over there. Kylian Mbappe is almost breaking legs over here. He said, you know what?
Yeah.
You can have it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have it. I'll go elsewhere, and you guys can have fun here. I've done enough here.
Copacabana. There we go.
Well, that's
Go to Brazil, there's no pressure there.
Well, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? Just a reminder, Real Madrid against Barcelona is next weekend, May the 11th. It's live and exclusive on ESPN+. Be sure to join us for El Clasico, where Barcelona can, of course, seal the deal.